Welcome to the JM Exchange podcast. Just have normal conversations with people from Cleburne, Johnson County area that are doing cool things and helping people out. I just wanted to say thank you to a few people that have helped me bring this together and make this happen. Number one, I want to thank God. I can't do this without him. I also want to thank my wife. She's given me great support and stayed behind me through this whole thing. And also family and friends that have given me support too. Want to give a thank you to Blake Jones Agency for allowing me to set up my studio. I want to thank Carson Luce for graphic design. I want to thank Jerry Lair with bjjloan.com. Reach out to him for any of your residential loan needs. John Bendes, and also the guests that come on and share their stories. Hope you enjoy the conversation. Thanks, y'all.
And we're rolling. Dwayne Stone, man. Good to have you back on.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Man, go ahead and introduce yourself again, and then we'll have you introduce your buddy over here, too.
All right. Good old Boyz National President, Knothead. This is
Good old Boyz National SA, Redline.
Man, it's
Good to be here.
Good to have y'all on, man. So how did you get this thing started? I know you're the founding member of the club, so how did the whole thing start?
Well, I mean, if you want to get into details, or do you want to kind of keep it?
That's up to you, brother.
Right. Well, I mean, I grew up in the MC world my whole life. You know, my oldest brother joined the 1%er Club back in '72, 2 years before I was born, and I just grew up with it. Loved the commodity, the brotherhood, the way they were doing things, because it was a lot different back then, you know, from my eyes to what it is now, you know. Back then, there were real bikers, real dudes, real men down with it, you know. Now, you know, a lot of them 1% are wearing fucking skinny jeans and fucking man buns and shit. It's, you know, they're not so scary anymore. They don't fucking scare me, but, you know. Anyways, grew up with the MC world. You know, I rode motorcycles my whole life. Back when I got out of prison, got with my old lady and stuff, and didn't have a bike. We kind of split up for a couple months, you know. It was my fault. And I went and got me another Harley. I hadn't had a Harley since before I went to prison. And started riding with groups. I was going to join a club, a riding club. It was a riding club I wanted to join. And this was after me and my old lady got back together, you know. And I was hanging around with a good friend of hers that she went to school with, you know, and we both rode together, and then we started hanging out with this riding club. So we were hanging out with them. We consider hanging around, you know, checking it out and stuff. And, you know, back then I was a heavy drinker, you know, drinking, rode, bar hop, all that stuff. We wore a rocker that said fucking solo, and it kind of like rubbed a lot of clubs wrong, you know. I had sending out the wrong message and stuff. And the only message I was letting people know that I'm solo, you know, independent. You know, it might have not said independent, but it had my words in it.
Oh.
And it started causing problems and stuff, you know, and me being a hard-headed dude, I wasn't going to take it off, and I wasn't going to put up with other shit. So we got a few bar fights, you know, brawls and stuff, and that led to that club being told from another club that supported a 1%er club that you will not let them guys join your club because there's some part of COC, you know, Confederation of Clubs deal, and they didn't want me and Jeremy in there, you know, joining their club because we're hot-headed and they don't like us. So, you know, there was a time we were out drinking and stuff, and I got tired of this shit, being harassed and shit like that over a damn rocker. So I approached one of the 1%ers, and I was like, look, dude, you know, you guys, your little support bitches fucking keep fucking with me, you know, and I'm not even fucking with them. They need to leave me the fuck alone. And he already kind of knew what was going on. And he goes, look, man, I'll go ahead and talk to him, tell him to stop. And I was like, I appreciate it. You know, he's been pretty cool about it. And so we're just sitting there talking and stuff. And he goes, hey, man, won't you go ahead and start up a club over there where you're at in your area you know, because he knew where I lived. They knew where I lived. And I was like, nah, I'll never be a support club for a 1%er club. I was like, I'll never do that. If I'm in a club, I'm in a club that stands for themselves. You know, I'm nobody's bitch, you know. I ain't gonna do grunt work or be a prospect to a 1%er club my whole time of being in the club. So I said, nah, I'm not cool with it, man. Fuck that shit. I would never do that. And he got mad and he was like, motherfucker, you know, I'm a 1%er. And I was like, I don't give a fuck what you are, man. I'm 0.25%, bitch. You know, that's why I wear that diamond 0.25%. You know, it goes back to that, you know what I mean? And we ended up, you know, throwing blows again, you know? And it led on. And then I got some other buddies that were in the MC that started way back in the day in the early 60s, you know. The Ghost Riders MC. They were probably one of the original MCs that started in Texas, you know, before the 1%ers. And that's a proven fact. You know, I looked it up. And they kind of backed me up on it, you know, even though I wasn't in their club. They kind of, hey, man, you know, there was a time we were about to get into it again at a bar and they rolled up, you know, and they squashed that shit real quick. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like I'm a bitch because I couldn't handle my stuff, but I was about to, you know. And so I was told that I was never going to be able to be in a club, you know, and I'm not a prospect kind of person because I don't like to be told what to do. You know, I look at things different. Like when you prospect for our club, it's not like your outlaw clubs or your 1%er clubs. You know, you do some serious shit, you know. We don't do that. You know what I mean? Your work is in getting donations, being around, you know, cleaning toilets, bikes, cleaning up the clubhouse and stuff like that. Yeah, you do stuff like that. But we don't make you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go get a cigarette in Alvarado and bring it up to me in Decatur. You know what I mean? We don't do shit like that or make them do some, you know, shit that's going to affect their freedom. You know, we're more of a, what would you say? We're more of a
brotherhood, you know, that bonds together and we build that camaraderie within based on what we choose to do, how we do it.
And it's to give back to people too, you know?
Yeah.
We're not trying to change things, but we want, you know, people to see that not all MCs are the same.
Yeah.
Because in my eyes, I've been in the MC world my whole life. You know, to me, you know, I might catch some shit for this, but I really don't give a shit because it's my beliefs and my opinion. You know, your 1%ers to me are gangs. They claim territory. They beat people up for shit like that. You know, it's some serious shit. You know, I had a good friend of mine get killed a week before. You know, a week after that, we got approached by him. You know, over a Texas rocker. It's ridiculous, man. You know, if the dude's from Texas, let him wear it. He's not trying to do anything to your club or anything like that. You know, and that's my whole thing about it. You know. So I was told I wasn't going to be able to be in a club, and I was sitting in my office one day at work, and it's like, you know what, man, I'm going to call my brother-in-law, and I called my brother-in-law, and I said, hey, I want to start a club. Let's just start a club. We always wanted to wear the same patch together. We all ride together. You know, we'll do monthly rides and do some shit together and hang out as a brotherhood. And so he called the other two friends of mine, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. So there was 4 founders of, you know, that actually founded the club. You know, I am the founding father. I brought up the idea. And, but anyways, we got that, and I called, it was 13 total of us that was original that started the club. And it was a center club. We started off as Good Old Boyz RC, you know, it was just a center patch that we wore on our back. It was a circle patch. And throughout the years, we went to a 2-piece patch and then to a 3-piece patch, and then we went MC, you know. We did our steps to get there where we're at today. There are some outlaws that are in the clubs, but we also have brothers that are on the other side of the fence that are in the club.
Yeah.
You know, some of us wear the scofflaw patch, you know, scofflaw was pretty much outlaw.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask what that meant.
Yeah, scofflaw is pretty much, you know, you scoff at the law.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know, prohibition era, you know, when alcohol was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the word scofflaw came for, because they're scoffing at the law by bootlegging.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where that came. But a lot of us wear that, or not a lot of us, but some of us wear that patch, you know, and, but that's how we got started, and we grew into what we do today. We do a lot of charity work, you know.
What kind of charity work do you do?
Well, we've done well. First and foremost, we used to, and we still do sometimes, is we go to feed the homeless, the veterans. Then also we've done Cook's Children's, the teddy bears. You know, that's something that, you know, we do canned food drives. Christmas time, we adopt a family. We may adopt 3 or 4 families. It just depends on the year. Some years we can get, you know, the support and help that we need, and others it's pretty tight. So, you know, it just depends on the year. But at the same time, we're selective of, you know, who we go to and who we approach, you know, when we find out a family needs help.
I got you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the originals, to me, when I started the club, was brotherhood. You know, we did a mandatory ride. Everybody had to ride us, you know, this Sunday a month. We all got together. We weren't a big club at the time, you know, and we still do a mandatory ride, you know, each charter does. And that was for me, Pistol Pete, you know, he's the one that brought charity into the club. Hey, let's start doing some cool stuff for people that, you know, that can't, you know, afford stuff, or let's go feed the homeless or do something, man.
Yeah.
You know, and Pete's got a big heart, you know, he's not in the club no more. The complications with him, you know, in his personal life. You know, I've known Pete for a long time. He was a body piercer at one time at Bonehead Tattoo when I worked at Bonehead Tattoo. And, but I knew him before he worked at Bonehead Tattoo, you know. I've known him for a long time. Good dude. He just didn't work out with the club. I mean, he stuck with us for about, 9 years?
Yeah.
19 years.
So how long has the club been around?
It's going on 13, 12.
No, actually, this year will be 2014 September. So you're looking at 12 years in September.
12 years.
All right, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't even know sometimes, bro.
I hear you, man.
I mean, time goes by
It's
fast.
so fast. You know, it's like the days are long, but the years are fast. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
And I swear, the older you get, the faster they go.
it does, dude. That's why I'm trying to get the most ride I can, you know, until I can't ride.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, what are you going to do when you can't ride? I was like, man, I'm going to get a trike.
Yeah, there you go.
As long as
man.
it's a Harley, you know.
So how does the club work? Because I think, like, from my knowledge and what I know about it, like, does the club own the bike? And so what's like the whole purpose of that whole
No.
ordeal? Is it not like that?
No.
Okay.
Well, the 1%er world, yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, not all 1%ers. Just select few that do it, you know. No, everybody owns their own bike. And it's funny you say that. Hill County President ZZ, when he first started hanging around, the first question he asked is like, if I want to join your club, do I get to keep my bike?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, you do, dude. I was like, I ain't taking your shit. It's like, that means I have to pay for the maintenance, you know? I don't want to do that shit, dude. At that time, I think I had 5 bikes already, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't want another bike. No, but that was his question. And it's funny because, you know, when somebody's wanting to join the club and he's around, you know, and he'll tell them, you know, you ready to turn in your blue?
Sign the title.
Yeah, sign the title over, you know?
Yeah.
And they just stop and just look at him for a minute, and then he just does this little smile, you know, and everybody starts laughing because we knew it was coming, you know.
Yeah.
But no, you own your own bike in this club.
Okay. But there's other clubs that are different.
Yeah, every club's run different.
Gotcha.
Every club's run different. We got different bylaws, you know, different stuff. You know, every club's run different.
So, like, what's the reasoning behind, like, starting a club besides just the brotherhood part of it and, you know, ride and stuff like that? What kind of benefits and stuff like that, like, comes of it? I understand, is it like, because it's not like a 501(c)(3) or anything,
No.
right?
No, I'll let you take this one.
So, you know, when you come together, I mean, it's just like anybody else. When you have friends that you know and you've known them for a long time and you get together for a barbecue or a cookout, you can just imagine it's like that when we get together to ride. Now, some of us ride daily. Some of us ride on the weekends. It just depends on your job and what you do, but we all come together to ride. And, you know, it's the experiences and the stories you get to tell, you know, as we've talked before about seeing the different wildlife and nature when you're going on a 5,000-mile ride.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, how many people in life can say, hey, I've done that, or man, I sure wished I could have done that. So you live it with no regrets. So when you come together with this club and you mesh with this club and you start putting that effort in, you get out of it what you put into it.
Okay.
But you also get that experience to say, hey, we've done that together.
Yeah. Okay.
Another thing is, and there's always brothers that need help.
Yep.
Mhm.
And they call upon another brother and expect him to be there, and he will be there. You know, it's just a big family for him.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And you know, you wear that patch, you're real close to me. And when I tell you I love you, I mean it from every inch, part of fiber of my body. I will love you.
Yeah.
You know, it runs deep. You know, every brother that's in this club, I love deeply. You know. And a lot of the ones that, you know, that are out good, I still love, you know. And the ones that left out bad, you know, I have nothing to give for them, you know. And there was that one question, you know. I mean, we were brothers for 6 years. You know, why can't we be brothers now, you know? And I was like, because you fucking left me.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You left us. You're not a part of us no more, you know. We have nothing to do with you no more. You ain't got nothing to do with us no more. You know, we have brothers that retired that are out good and stuff, but, you know, and I still call him brother, you know. I talk to him every now and then, you know. 2 of the founders that would help me start this club retired, you know. They're no longer, one's still riding, one's not riding no more, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it's the brotherhood or it's a family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have gatherings at the clubhouse, you know, and we have Christmas at the clubhouse, Thanksgiving at the clubhouse, Halloween. We don't, you know, do stuff for the kids, you know, and a lot of the money that we do raise, you know, we used to do it for an orphanage up in Weatherford. We built sandboxes, bought them brand new beds, box springs, and all that stuff. You know, helped them out as much as we could. But now it's just like, you know, families that can't make it during Christmas, you know, we go buy their whole Christmas for them, you know.
That's awesome.
You know, we go throughout the year throwing events. And of course, you know, some of the money's got to go back to the club to pay for the clubhouse, to storage the stuff, or to have these events at, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know, but majority of the money does go to what we do, you know. Like this coming up weekend, we're going to have steak night, you know. It's $25. You get
Steak, baked potato, salad.
you know.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. And the steak's almost a pound, you know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying? It's just like between a 12 and 16 ounce steak, you know?
Yeah.
And the baked potato, I swear to God, is like 4 pounds.
Okay.
You know, that's how big they are, you know? And then, you know, you get a salad with it, you know? And,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can't even go buy steaks these days, you know? Luckily, we know a butcher, you
Yeah.
know? So
There you go. That's awesome. So you mentioned that 0.25. What does that mean?
0.25?
Yeah.
I'm a 0.25% of a 1%er. Don't let it come out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, I'm laid back. I'm always smiling. If I'm mad, that's bad. You know, don't ever come at me, because if you bring that out, it's no coming back.
Yeah.
But I want to be everybody's friend. You know the old word, and I hate it. Can you hear me still?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I hate the phrase respect is earned, because in my eyes and my belief, I'm giving you respect first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It's not earned. To get respect, you got to give respect.
Correct.
And that's the way I am. If I give you respect and you disrespect me, then the respect's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And there ain't going to be no earning it back, because I don't want to respect you after that. You lost it.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know, you get one try. You know, I'm that person. You know, back in the day, I was a bad man. I was just a bad person. And if you look at the old Irish word scofflaw, it means bad person. You know, I was that person, pistol whipping people, dealing drugs, running drugs from Juarez, Mexico, all the way to Fort Worth. I ain't gonna say where else, because I ain't gonna try to get myself in trouble. You know what I mean? No, I went to prison for organized crime. You know, I got in trouble. You know, now I'm trying to put a quarter back in the karma box. You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to do good and stay good. I own a business. I'm doing good in my business. I got a beautiful family. You know, I'm not trying to hurt, bring harm on them or anything like that. That's not what it's about. But just don't bring the bad out of me.
Yeah.
That's what the 2% is, or 25%.
Gotcha.
Let me correct that. 0.25%.
Yeah.
Because I do still have a little bit of outlaw in my heart.
I see what you're saying.
But I've got a lot of friends that are in the law enforcement.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people trip that out, especially the people I used to grow up with. And back in the the ones that knew me back in the 90s before I went to prison. And I'm like sitting here hanging out with the cops. They're like, what the fuck, dude? Where'd this come from, man? I was like, some people fucking grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
It might, it might have taken me until I was 45 years old, but I didn't,
I guess that's what counts. You actually grew up. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the 72 diamond stand for?
Man, you have to turn the camera off for that, dude. No.
I can pause it.
It's a brotherhood patch.
Just a brotherhood patch.
Yeah, so it's 72s are
special meaning.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's our colors. It's blue and gray. Or gray and blue, I'm sorry. Gray and blue, 72. It's the letters. But, the diamond originally came as brotherhood before the 1%ers took that over.
Roger that. So how many charters do you guys have now? You're talking about you got quite a few.
Yeah, we got a few. I'm not going to tell you how many, but we got a few. I'll go ahead and tell you. We got New Mexico, Iowa, Dallas, Fort Worth, regionals, nationals, Hill, and there's a couple other we're working on right now.
Oh, right on. So you are really growing.
Yeah.
That's cool. How often do all the charters kind of get together and be able to meet and stuff?
Well, this weekend.
We're going to meet together this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah, because we're coming together for state night, and that's kind of the way we do with, big events. Everybody comes together, to do what we do.
Yeah.
And, and then, after that, we may, we'll talk to them, but we may not see them for another month or two. And we may have a quarterly ride where everybody rides together.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to that point where you got so many that you can't ride in a pack, quote unquote, safely without, pissing off the general public, which is not what we're trying to do. We're trying to give that, hey, look, this is an MC that's doing good and not piss people off. But at the same time, they got to understand when we come together, we're coming together.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this weekend, we got some nomads coming in from New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa won't be there, but we got a nomad down South Texas too. He should be coming up too as well. So
right.
There's a nomad charter as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for people that don't know, what are the ranks? What are the ranks and what do they mean? Like what's your job as officer? So I know you got you're president, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a VP, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got, I guess, the person in charge,
Well,
sort of.
Well, okay, so
it's a democracy.
The president of each charter. My duty as the national president is oversee the club, and just pay attention what's going on, see if anything's going on. It's actually the VP and the sergeant at arms that run the charters.
Okay.
Supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's not working out, that's when the P steps in and starts, overriding stuff.
Gotcha.
But basically it's the VPs that, they're disciplinary, and sergeant arms disciplinary that do most of that stuff. And, presidents will run, we have church, quote meetings.
Yeah, where you meet together and stuff.
And, the president will start the meetings, when we do our votes and stuff like that. And the president really doesn't vote in the meeting. They can't in our club.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to vote. We could break a tie, or we could veto. We have the right to veto.
Okay.
If we don't feel in our heart it's the right time.
Is that just y'all's club though, or
a lot of clubs do that?
A lot of clubs.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of clubs do that. But yeah, the president has the right to veto if he doesn't feel like this is the right time for that to pass or whatnot. We have a problem with another club. It's usually the sergeant at arms of each club talk to each other, and they bring the message back to the president.
Okay.
He's my right-hand man. My VP is my left-hand man.
Yeah.
So, and then we got our treasurer and secretary and stuff like that. We usually don't run road captains, we leave that out, but Sergeant at Arms, my right-hand man, he goes where I go.
Gotcha.
You know, he protects me. Most of the time, I don't even tell him when I'm out riding. I just go, you know.
But I do correct him when he does.
Actually, that's what you're saying.
Mm.
Right on, man. So, what's probably the furthest you've ever had a ride with, like a big group of people, and like went the furthest? You said like a 5,000-mile ride. That's insane.
That was just 3 of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was 3 of us. But
Where'd y'all start and where'd y'all end?
we started here in Fort Worth, rode all the way to Grand Canyon, went north
We went to El Paso first.
well, El Paso, then the Grand Canyon. Then we rode all the way up into Wyoming, into Yellowstone.
Oh, right on.
And then we rode back east to Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse, and then cut south and come on down and rode down the $1 Million Highway. And if you've never had the opportunity to run down the $1 Million Highway,
I never have, yeah.
it's something to really see. It's you know, and so yeah, I mean, we rode. I think that was what, 9 days,
Yeah, 9 days.
Nine
It was
days.
5,000 miles. It was 4,000. It was 4,000.
4,800 and I don't know, 4,800 and something. Almost, 5,000 in one day. We didn't get to ride because of storms. It was hailing. So we had to shut it down and not ride.
So when y'all go on rides like that, do y'all stay in hotels and stuff like that, or do y'all camp, or
No,
what do y'all do?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. We'll do KOAs, if they're available, because you go into some areas where they don't allow tent camping.
Yeah.
And, then you're like stuck with like, Chuck, okay, now what are you going to do? We're planning on stopping here for the night. So let's see what we can do, So it's both. Generally though, as of late, our 2,000-3,000 mile trips have been pretty much staying in,
Hotels.
Hotels.
well, no, tents. Remember the KOA?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do hotels some, yes, but tent camping that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So,
We stay at my son's house up in Albuquerque, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have a nephew that lives up there, right?
my oldest 2 sons live up there.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So like when y'all go on rides and stuff like that, does the club pay for that, or is it like the individual pays for
No,
it?
individual.
Individual pays for it?
Yeah.
So like, do y'all have dues and stuff like that you
Yeah,
have to pay? 'Cause
well-
I figure, there's still bills that you got to pay and
Yeah,
stuff.
monthly dues usually paid for the new patches and rent for the clubhouse and electric bills and stuff. People donate, money to us a lot, to help with our bills
Yeah.
for that cause. I mean, we're not going to tell them, hey, we're going to go help this family out and then pay the bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's usually, hey, we're trying to raise money for our electric bill and people help us out, because it's not a business, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And to keep doing what we want to do, we have to have a place to do it at,
Gotcha.
But yeah, we pay our monthly dues. Going back on the other answer on that ride, we almost did the Iron Butt ride.
we do.
Yeah, so
So what's that?
we're coming back from Wyoming, and I told Redline, I was like, look, find the cheapest hotel. I was like, I'm tired of spending money, just find the cheapest hotel. And he goes, okay. So he did. He found the cheapest hotel by the airport. And we get there and we roll up, get out, we come in, roll around, parked in the back of the hotel, and we start looking around. And I looked at him, and I started looking around, and I was like, I think I'm going to go park over there. So we all got on our back on our bikes, went by the swimming pool, went up the curb, and parked by the swimming pool where it's lit.
Yeah. Creek City.
So, and our room was right above it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was meth town. We got us in meth town.
When we pulled up, there was a girl climbing out the window.
No, that was a dude.
Was that a dude?
That was a
Oh,
dude. The
okay.
girl was in the hotel.
Oh, okay.
The
yeah.
dude was climbing out the window. It was a experience, for me, because I got 2 trigger happy motherfuckers sleeping in the same room with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a trigger happy person, and most of the time ZZ stayed down there by the bikes. At the time, ZZ was my sergeant at arms, and he was treasurer, and he was staying by the bikes, and I stayed out there, or up in the hotel room. And when I went down there, had a little partay and some shit. Kind of hung out there for a little bit with ZZ. Went back up. Everybody came back up, So I was sitting there and I asked them a question, both of them. I was like, do y'all ever jump and grab your pistol and start shooting? They're like, no, I was like, all right, then I could go to sleep. You know, that's one of my fears.
Yeah.
So I went to sleep, and right when I fell asleep, this motherfucker jumps up and starts stomping around saying, get the cat,
my
get
calf.
the cat.
No, my calf. 'Cause
But
it-
what me and
muscle-
ZZ heard was,
Get the
get
cat.
the cat, get the cat. And all I heard was, and I was like, oh, shit, I'm about to die. I heard the guns, you know, and we turned the lights on, and he's just jumping around, and we're like, what? Get what cat? What cat? You know, we thought a cat in the damn hotel room. And he's like, no, my calf. His calf started cramping up because he didn't drink enough water.
I got a Charlie horse.
Yes. So that was a real bad experience. But get back to that ride. We got up the next morning. I didn't sleep worth the fuck, you know, and tired as hell. And so we rode across Colorado all the way to Grand Junction. That's like straight across the top,
Mhm.
you know, from Denver. And then from there, we rode down and did the $1 Million Highway, like he said, and ended up in Durango, Colorado, the bottom of Colorado on the
Southwest side.
west side,
Gotcha.
southwest. Stop and ate lunch or
Dinner.
dinner. And we're like, we'll get a room here. And we're like, no, let's just go ahead and ride to Albuquerque. There's a fucking nightmare. But we get down there to Albuquerque. It was night, raining.
Yeah.
It was dark, animals everywhere, hoping you don't hit a deer or something. We finally get there and get unpacked and everything. And I looked at the mileage. I was like, man, it was
995 miles.
One day.
yeah,
And
5 more miles, dude. We could have
Mhm.
got the, you know, did the iron butt.
And
you know?
what's crazy about that too is what he failed to mention is we were on the most dangerous highway
in
in
America.
New Mexico,
Right.
or in America for that matter, where animals come out at night. So we're blowing down, you know, was that 550
550 going about
From-
90 miles per hour, just trying to get
out
there.
of Durango to get
Gotcha.
there? And we didn't have any idea that all these animals.
Elk,
Mhm.
deer, just everything.
Man, that's wild.
It was wild, man.
I bet you. I don't think I've ever drove that far in a car, much less been on a bike for that long. That's a lot. That's a lot of miles.
There's a lot of
Man.
miles. I used to drive that all the time, man, back in the day before I got organized crime.
But I mean, at the same time, you got to think about it. You know, we talked earlier about, you know, going and hiking up in the
Yeah.
elevations, you know. You can't just throw your leg over a bike and think you're going to go take, you know, and ride, you know, all day long. I mean, you can, but you're going to be hurting.
Mhm.
And so we would generally run, we'd do about 600-700 miles a day during that time.
Yeah, it was about that. I mean, sun up to sometime 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we stop along the way, see things, and
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon, that was cool. And we had a 2-hour rain delay because the storms come into Grand Canyon. I mean, you don't want to be at the Grand Canyon when lightning and thunder and wind and everything else. And so, you know, it was good to stop and relax for a little bit. And what in Phoenix that morning about 6:30 was 98 degrees or something already.
And that was at 6 o'clock in
yeah.
the morning, dude.
That's nuts. I bitch about it here when it's like 85 degrees and I wake up at leave
Yeah.
for work at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what is
But-
this?
It's different there, though, man. It's dry
It's
heat.
dry. Yeah.
And you're like, it's hard to breathe. You know, the humidity kind of gives you a little bit of moisture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But it's kind of thick in humidity, you know, but when you get used to it, you're used to it. When you're up there and you're not used to dry heat, it's a lot different. I grew up in El Paso, dry heat. And when I moved down to Fort Worth to humidity, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I mean, my balls and ass sweated all fucking day. When I was in El Paso, I didn't sweat at all. I just had to make sure I drank a lot of fucking water and pissed, you know?
Yeah.
But here, man, I was like, good God, dude. And then that's where I knew where swamp ass came from, you
Yeah.
know?
You ever been down to like Corpus Christi
Oh, dude.
during the middle, like during August?
I've been to Florida.
Man, you like open the door and when you walk out, it's like you can feel how thick it is.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you just hit a wall walking out because of the humidity so bad.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Oh, yeah. I have family that used to be down in what they say is Refugio, which is only about 40 minutes from Corpus.
Yeah.
And we'd go down there, and every year we'd go down there, you know. It'd be like, oh, let's go to Corpus. And I'm like, why? It's just in your face.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to go to the beach and stuff
Yeah.
down there. Like go to Mustang Island or Padre.
Yeah.
It's pretty and it's fun. When you get, I like seeing the ocean. I don't know,
Mhm.
it does something to me when I get to go down and just see the ocean. It's
Right.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun on the bike, man. We have a lot of good times. When you're traveling on, doing like trips like that, you see a lot more than you do in a cage.
Yeah.
I mean, you have nowhere blocking you.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're wearing a helmet, then you kind of struggle. But, most of the time, I don't wear a helmet when I'm traveling. I like to see things.
Yeah.
I like the beauty of it. The wind hitting my face, the smell of the desert. Different states have different smell,
Yeah, that's for sure.
And it's just, man, it's unbelievably breathtaking.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of fucking gay coming from a guy like you. It's so breathtaking.
Well, I mean, going back to that too, though, you got to look at it and think about things that, people say, man, I wished I would have done that.
Yeah.
And we say, we've done that.
Yeah.
And, we're planning another big one next year, headed out east, and ride the tail of the dragon and a few other things. And there's a few things we want to see along the way. But a lot of people don't realize that, out back east, there's a I think it's called the Natchez Trace Parkway, that there's no 18-wheelers allowed on.
Oh, okay.
And it's a stretch that runs, from Louisiana up into Mississippi. And it's nice to not have any commercial 18-wheelers, running down that stretch. Nothing against 18-wheelers because, hey, they built America, but.
Got to get her stuff somehow.
Yeah, exactly. But, at the same time, enjoying nature like that, it's like, man, you can actually look and see, hey, what's going on without you rolling by an 18-wheeler and going, man, I missed it because I couldn't see,
Oh, yeah, that's what you're saying.
And I mean, it's, you look at it, I mean, like one year we were rolling out west and those dust devils.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you could see them from miles away. And we were out by Van Horn, man, and here they come. And we got caught in them going down and, your bike's doing that.
I was going to say, I bet that's wild. I remember when me and my wife went on our honeymoon to Mexico, we were coming back. It was so windy. She saw like these little rocks on the side of the road. She was like, I think I want a couple of these rocks, take home and put it flower bed and remind us, when we've been here.
Yeah.
I get out of the Jeep and the wind damn near blew me over. And cause I was driving like with the steering wheel turned to try to keep the Jeep on the road. I mean, it was nuts. I couldn't imagine being on a bike going through like the wind like that.
Did that a couple of years ago. I think 2022, we were riding out west and I still had my chaps on. They're like, oh man, it's, next thing you know, we're fixing to hit a dust storm. So they're like, hey, man, we're gearing up for it. I'm like, man, I'm already geared up. Let's roll, So we're rolling like that, going down the road,
just leaning.
hoping that, our bikes don't get, sandblasted, no paint left.
Yeah.
Because there's about 60, 70 mile an hour winds.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
It was brutal.
I bet it was.
And all the way to Pecos, yeah.
How many miles did you ride with that kind of wind?
From Midland, Odessa, out through Pecos.
Oh, man. That's a good ways.
Mm-hmm.
All the way to Hudson County, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
But y'all were tired after that one.
It beats your ass, dude.
Yeah.
It beats.
Windburn.
It's a workout, man. I mean, you was like, damn, I didn't even know I had that muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard you say it.
But yeah.
So I want to ask about your patch. Like, when y'all design patches and stuff like that, does like every kind of detail kind of mean something?
Yeah, so I actually have the actual hand drawing. I drew the patch. And it does. The 3 stars, honor, loyalty, and honor and loyalty and respect. And that's what the 3 stars on the hat means.
Okay.
It's just, and the pistols mean what they are.
Yeah.
We'll stop.
Yeah.
We will stop you. That all means just don't come, we're a peaceful club, just don't come at us.
Yeah.
Because we're not a bunch of bitches either.
Yeah.
So
I'll meet up with like other clubs and stuff like that too. Collaborate and do stuff like that. What kind of other clubs I mean, I don't know, you can name them if you want to. It's up to you, man.
We got quite a few clubs we hang out with, I'll give a shout out to the Race MC, Internal Brotherhood MC, there's a couple others, we talk to the Wino Crew, MC. We hang out, a couple times with the Vagos, we hang out with the Vagos MC, Yellow Jackets MC, there's quite a few MCs that we hung out with that come hang out with us too, like I say, I'm not all against 1%ers. I'm not all against, your Diamond 13 patches or your outlaw bikers.
Mhm.
I'm not against them. It's just, I distant myself from them because, and if they come to an event, I'm hanging out with them, talking to them. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to call them up and say, hey, let's go have a beer or anything like that. You know
that's
what I mean?
what I'm saying.
But if they come to an event, yeah. And then some of my brothers go to their events to show face and respect, and it's just the way it is. Me, I got such a horrible history of fucking being a fucking felon. I'm trying to stay away from that stuff because I don't want to be caught up in the mix because it's always guilty by association.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're in the system.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, there were times that I got pulled over and they were like, "Hey, get out of the car, back up, get on your knees," because when they run my plates, some shit comes up, And so, I get it that they want to protect themselves too. They don't know what's going through my head. I'm an ex-con.
Yeah.
And ex-cons ain't good people. Some of us do change, but I don't associate with them. I'm, my personal, but some of my brothers do, and I'm okay with it. I don't condemn them to do that because they show faith with us and donate to us, to our cause as well. But there's quite a bit of MCs out there that, we do talk to.
Okay. That's cool, man. So what's your bottom rocker say? I can't read it. Oh,
Meha,
what's that mean?
a group that shares the same goals.
Okay. Hell yeah, right on.
It's Irish.
Okay. So are you Irish?
I am Irish.
All right on. I'm Scottish and
I'm
German.
sorry. No, I'm just joking.
Scottish and German.
My family's history's Native American and Slovak.
Yeah, I got a lot of some Native American too, on both sides of my family.
Yeah.
I think it was my mom's great grandmother or great great grandmother was like full blood Indian.
Really?
Mama Jojo, what they call her.
Yeah, my great. Yeah.
Better get that money.
Oh,
I need. Somebody told me about that, and I probably do have enough
You do?
Native American blood where I could
2%.
I probably could have went to college or something.
That's
I
all
think
you
it's
need.
2%.
Oh man, I got that.
Shit, you probably got 50% up in you.
Well,
No, I did.
I will tell you. I will tell you. Now that you say that, my great grandmother, her mom was full blood Cherokee, and her dad was Irish. So I have actually both.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool, man. So what do you guys got coming up that's big for your charity works and stuff like that?
Well, we got the steak night coming up. We do bike, bikini bike washes, poker night. We do, this is every charter that does something different.
Yeah.
We'll do raffles,
different.
different things, that nature. We'll do teddy bears. I know right now we got a bunch of teddy bears that we're trying to save for cooks. So, because they, believe it or not, those teddy bears, they hand out to every kid that comes in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
So that's something that cooks, they've been around a long time.
Yeah,
and
it's all donated.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super awesome.
Yeah.
And 1 year, I'll tell you a quick story about a charity. 1 year the year before, adopted his family for Christmas because the kid had cancer.
And they couldn't afford anything.
And they couldn't afford anything. Well, unbeknownst to us, the next year when we go to deliver the teddy bears, here's this kid that's there for treatment that still remembers us and comes out. It's like, hey, and so that kind of
That's cool, man.
hits you.
Yeah.
It hit me pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible to think about.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
I
Having
don't care
lived a
how
life.
big and bad you are. When it comes to a kid, and you might talk the big bad talk, but when he's standing in front of you or she, whatever, bald and going through chemo and
Couldn't imagine.
black around their eyes and their just lips are black, and it just breaks you down inside, especially if you got young ones at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that crap all the time, dude. How will I handle it? Can I handle it?
Yeah.
My wife's like, hey, yeah, sure you can handle it. You can handle anything if you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but that's different. That's,
That's your kid.
I don't want to be in
Yeah,
that
man.
position, and I seen it. with other people. It's real. And man, dude, it just broke me down that day. It broke me down so bad I had to walk away.
Man,
I had to walk. It was horrible.
that's terrible. Well, it's good, that y'all do something for them.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's cool. And good for you too. Turning everything around and breaking that cycle. You know what I mean? Of just going down that bad road and actually putting good out and stuff like that. Because I'm a big believer in that. The more good and stuff like that you pour out into the world, the more it's going to come back to you as well. And so I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, we talked about that last night.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I mean, there's something special about that. So kudos to you guys for getting out there and doing that stuff. Man, I had a question a second ago and I forgot what it was. Oh, wait, where's y'all's clubhouse at? I mean, again, that's up to you if you want to answer that.
It's over in Haltom City.
Haltom City. Okay.
Yeah, and then Hill County's getting one down there over there by Whitney.
Okay, cool. Man.
So, Dallas uses Fort Worth. They share clubhouse. So
is it like what's your clubhouse kind of laid out? Like, what's the layout of it?
We got a bar, and we got a big table where we all sit down. We have church, but we have a pool table in there, other tables to sit down and stuff. And we have a little sitting room if you want to go in there. Got a little couch and stuff in there. Looks like a clubhouse.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man.
We got shit all over the wall.
Yeah.
Got some. I got an old school. You remember Red Dog?
Oh yeah.
The beer.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law from Chicago, hey, I got you some. He brought me that. You can't even find those no more.
That's cool.
Neon light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that up there. We got a bunch of neon lights, some Miller Lite lights and stuff like that.
Coors Light.
Yeah. And then a bunch of pictures of throughout the years of members and stuff like that.
Yeah, and things y'all done and everything. That's cool.
So
man.
events that we done and stuff like that.
One that's up in Arkansas where we put 29 bikes underneath an awning because it was pouring down raining.
Yeah.
And that was back in 2019.
You're a prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, so how long does somebody have to usually prospect before they come and they patch in? It just depends.
Just depends
yeah.
On the person.
Up to a year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's the shortest amount of time anybody?
I mean, 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No.
Usually the people that are prospecting though, man, I mean, it's somebody we know or
You already knew him,
he
yeah.
knew him,
Well, I knew one of the originals. I mean, one of the founders. I knew him. I personally knew him, grew up with him.
Yeah.
He's now retired, and I love him to death, as a friend, as a brother, but yeah, I knew him and he said, hey, this guy, he's there. And anytime there was an issue, he would have him call me and say, hey, what's up with this? And I mean, I'm a straight shooter. I ain't going to sugarcoat it for you. So
Yeah.
it is what it is,
That's cool.
Yeah, we had it could take up to a year just when we feel fit,
Yeah.
But
makes
most
sense.
of the time, like I said, we know somebody knows him and grew up with them. And if a brother vouches for him and we bring him, he hangs around and then, yeah, let's go ahead and prospect him. And he's kicking ass,
Yeah.
You can make the cut,
Yeah. Doing stuff like you were talking about earlier, like
Yeah.
donations and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's guys that didn't make the cut,
Yeah.
or they made the cut, and then a few months later, we took the cut,
Yeah.
or whatever, they turned in their cut, it's not their life.
Yeah. That's what you're saying.
But we're not out beating people up and trying to take other people's cuts or trying to, start shit with the public and shit like that, man. We go out to have fun,
Yeah.
and I mean, we went to a bingo. They did an event.
Oh, yeah.
They did an event bingo, and they sent me a picture of lunch boxes. The Fort Worth VP, he's like 6'4" or something like that. But he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's lunchbox.
Yeah.
He's got this little old lady there walking her to her car,
Uh-huh.
and we do shit like that,
Yeah.
And that was funny.
Yeah, because she was like this tall, and he was like up here,
Yeah. So how did the nicknames come about?
You earn them, during your prospect period. Oh,
Say that's when it comes in?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just could be from whatever just happens. Something happens and
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story about one. This is before he was in the club. This is a guy that I was doing time with, And the funny story is I bought a house in Watauga, and he was still in prison. And I ran into his brother, who was happened to be staying in his house while he was in prison, right around the corner from me. I was like, whoa, that is fucking small world, you know?
Yeah, it is.
So he got out of prison. We started hanging out and stuff like that. And, the club was going. And he says, hey, I want to join. And I mean, let me talk to the guys. So we did. We started prospecting. Well, we were over at Texas Billiard one night doing karaoke. And I was like, Prospect's going to have to sing. And so I picked out the song from Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, And we're all sitting there drinking, my wife, and, it was all of us there having a good time. And he says, hey, I'm going to go home for a minute and take a couple of shots, some strong shit, and come back. So, all right, that's cool, man. You better bring your ass back because you're going to have hell to pay if you don't. So he went home. He comes back, took some shots, and he was wearing his old lady's thongs. So he gets up on stage and he starts singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and his balls drop out of the flipping. Everybody in the goddamn bar just started fucking laughing. I mean, we're just rolling. Our old ladies and everybody, they're just fucking laughing. He's just here singing. His old lady runs up there and picks him up, starts tucking him back in there, and walks away and stuff. And the bouncer comes up, hey, man, no, get him off the fucking stage. You can't have that shit up there. And Smash looks at him and says, hey, man, chill the fuck out, dude, Let him finish the song. We'll get him off on there. We're just having a little bit of fun. We're not hurting nobody. And he's like, all right, when he's done, get him out of here. And then we all turn around. His balls fell out again. Boom. And so his wife runs up there, dude, and starts tucking in. And then she starts giving him a blowjob on the damn stage, dude. And we're like, what the fuck? It was fucking wild, dude. So, it goes on for I think he prospected another 3 or 4 months, and he was a prospect for a few months before that. And so we decided to go ahead and patch him. And he's a solid dude, And they were like, what are we going to fucking name him? Does anybody even think about that? I was like, I want to name him Teabag.
That's appropriate.
Right. So we got it. So we were delivering something to a school, some supplies. What was it? A Christmas thing that we did for the school for
for a couple of kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and we come rolling up, and because Teabag was around. No, it wasn't that. No, it was adopted Christmas is what it was. And the little kid goes on there and he looks up and he's like, why do they call you Teabag? And he looks right at me, and I look at him, and I looked at the kid, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at the kid, and I was like, he carries a bag of tea in his pocket in case he gets thirsty.
He really likes tea.
Yeah. Kid was like, oh, okay. I'm like, shit, man. So maybe we should start, reevaluating how we name people, or, how you want to tell them how they got the name, and another story for somebody that doesn't need to know how they got the name.
Yeah, I hear that. So how did you get Knothead?
Oh, man, I got that name from my mom. I've had Knothead for a long time. That's what they called me. They used to call me Psycho back in high school, but my mom always called me Knothead. I was just crazy back then. I had no care in my bones. I didn't care who I hurt, whose feelings I hurt, whose body I hurt. I just didn't care. I was not a good person growing up. My brother Bobby killed himself 2 weeks before my 6th birthday, and it really kind of messed my head up, And I went straight down a dark path after that. And then my other brother, Frankie, died in 1979, got murdered on a Harley. So, but I'm the last living boy out of 8 kids, and I had a sister that died in 2017. We did an event for her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband was in the club. But no, I got that name from my mom. So I stuck with it.
Right. How'd you get Redline?
Well, when I was prospecting, I still do. I'll talk 90 miles an hour from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. And
I told you.
Energy, I'll go do it, and I'll do it until I can't do it no more, and that's it, man. And it's after the energy drink, there was a Redline energy drink, and
yeah.
This guy, he's just like that energy drink, man. He's up, whether I was went to bed an hour before or 8 hours before, it didn't matter. I'm still rolling. We're going to get up and we're going to do it. And I'll be talking the entire time.
Right on the rose.
Like he wakes up fucking talking.
Yes, that's like me.
Yeah.
Like right when it feeds, hey, what are we doing today? Are we going? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm waking up trying to drink coffee. He's already packed up, ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it happened on the trip too, man. I was already busted down, had my bike rolled. And they're like, dude, we ain't even got our tents torn out. He gets mad because one of his tent stakes, something happened. It was the tent. We have another brother freaking goes, I'll take the tent and folds it up.
I ripped it.
That's right. You ripped, yeah. You know, and here I am. I'm already ready to go.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, brothers earn it just, how they act while they're prospecting. We got one, and he's just Fort Worth Sergeant at Arms. His name's For Real.
Yeah, for real.
Like, when he was prospecting, every time we told him to do something, for real? Yeah.
Yeah, just kept asking
For real?
for real.
I was like,
For real?
motherfucker, I did tell you to do it, didn't I? And he was like, yeah. And then, like, sometimes he'd be like, for real? And I was like, for real, motherfucker. Do it,
That's appropriate. Yeah.
So he earned that fucking name. They want the name of Snack Pack. And so I got the phone call. And Lunchbox did some prison time too, and him and Lunchbox kind of got tight when For Real was prospecting. And I got the phone call saying, man, and it was at the time it was Joker was president of Mid Cities, and he's like, we're gonna go ahead and patch in Jordan. And I was like, oh, okay, well, did y'all pick out a road name? It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to order it for us. I was like, all right, what is it? And he goes, Snack Pack. I was like, no, motherfucker, you're not gonna name a fucking brother Snack Pack. Why not? I was like, call Lunchbox. So he calls Lunchbox and he tells him, we're gonna name him Snack Pack. And Lunchbox, no, you're not. He's like, why? He was like, Snack Pack is a fucking in prison. Snack Pack means you're fucking a fag.
Okay. Yeah, no idea.
Come here, Snack Pack,
Saying.
No, I was like, no, they ain't gonna have no fucking Snack Pack in the club, So they made him fucking out of a joke, the name tag Snack Pack. He has it sewn on the inside of his pocket. But Joker, I mean, honestly didn't know, and he was thinking, well, him and Lunchbox are always friends, and you got a lunchbox, you put a fucking snack pack
in there.
And it fits because, For Real is like
4'9".
Yeah, he's 2 foot shorter. And I mean, so compared to Lunchbox, he is that way,
Yeah, that's what you just said.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking funny, dude. I was like, no, you're not gonna do that.
Man. Oh, those are great stories. Man, okay, so I gotta hear some more nickname jokes or stories. I mean, sorry, not jokes, but stories. There's gotta be some more in there.
Stitch, yeah. So just imagine, I pull out a knife and I'm like, hey, check this out, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, oh, bro, I stabbed myself with a knife. And you're like, what? I mean, right there.
So it was a knife just like this one.
Is that a microtip?
Where, you go like this, and he thought, instead of doing this, he thought you pushed it down and the blade go back in.
Mm-mm.
And he stabbed himself. I was like, God damn, bro, I know you're in your 50s, but fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come on.
It's just like Legos, bro,
And I mean, it wasn't like shallow either. It went deep.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, man. And then TikTok,
Yeah. Yeah. TikTok
time.
Yeah. That guy. There's a few brothers. We got like Roadblock. And if you just look at him, you know why he's called Roadblock.
Is it a big dude?
He's a big dude.
Big guy.
Yeah. He picks shit up like fucking that it'd take 4 people to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's like nothing. He's just a big guy.
Country fed boy.
Yeah.
So, you run into those a few in your life and you're like, boy, how do you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Dallas president. Yeah. He's always like, yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of that movie, Sandlot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah. So does the law ever bother you guys? They pull you over for no reason?
No, I mean, we never have. I mean, prospects have, being dumb. you know. Usually, and it's funny because they just let us go. No, man, like around the Haltom City area and stuff like that, they pretty much know who we are and what we're about. You know, we always get the hand wave. And believe it or not, I got a good friend that's a sheriff, like the actual sheriff. People trip out on that because of my history and my past.
Yeah.
But I'm changed, you know what I mean? I can respect the law now more than I have ever, you know? And I understand what they went through. Accountability, you know, a lot of people don't take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I did from the get-go. From when I got arrested, I owned up to it. You know, it is what it is. I'm guilty. And I wasn't going to fight it. I was going to try to fight the years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was guilty, you know. But we became pretty good friends when he was running for sheriff, and we stayed friends. So, but I've got quite a few friends. Then, I mean, here in this county,
Yeah.
you know, one of the constables, really good friend of mine. You know, I'm not gonna say no names.
No,
but,
I don't blame you.
but he's a really good friend of mine, and I would take a bullet for that guy. That's how
awesome,
close.
man.
That's how close we are, and I guarantee he'd take a bullet for me too. Most of your police officers will take a bullet for you.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, you know, the way the society is treating police officers and law enforcement these days, and you got your bad cops. I'm not going to sit here and fucking put the cops on a pedestal
Yeah.
because you got some bad apples in everything,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100%.
you know, but there's more good cops than there are bad cops. And luckily I know quite a few of them.
Yeah. I know some good officers as well.
Yeah.
And I don't really know any bad ones, thank goodness. But all the ones that I know are very good human beings.
Yeah.
And love them to death. Man, that knife, is that a Microtech knife? Or
No.
is it?
Kershaw?
It's a knockoff of a Kershaw, but
Oh, I ain't got my Kershaw on me.
I used to have an out the front Microtech,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an awesome knife, man. I
Mhm.
loved it. I
Yeah.
ended up losing it. My wife got it for me. It was one of the first gifts she got me, like
Mhm.
when we started dating.
And you lost it.
And I lost it, man. I had it for years, and I don't know what happened to it.
Damn.
As what I think happened was it was clipped in my pocket,
Mhm.
and I was getting out of the Jeep, and I think the seatbelt grabbed it, and it
Mhm.
probably fell on the ground. It was a good day for somebody that found that,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean that was a $300 knife.
Yeah.
It's weird how shit like that happens, man. That you know you had it, you know, and I had one of the shells that, and I wasn't supposed to have it, but I had it, that they shot at my dad's funeral, you know.
Oh yeah,
And my sister gave it to me and had it engraved, my dad's, you know, his rank and everything in the military and his name and all that stuff and
Mhm.
his date of birth and his date, you know, date of his death. And when she died, I put her ashes in it, some of her ashes in there, and sealed it up, and I kept it in my vest. And I swear it was in my vest when I get some patches sewn on, and I lost it.
oh man,
So, and I think I forgot to take it out, and it got lost in their store,
oh man,
and it sucks.
that does suck.
It does suck. That's like the worst thing I ever lost,
Yeah,
besides my parents.
Yeah.
yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. I've got a knife on me right now that I got on a trip that's special to me because I looked at it and was, you know, oh man, I'm not going to pay that kind of money for that. You know, I'll go on down the road and find it. Well, somebody's,
You got it for you.
yeah, and I didn't know, but it's special to me. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, you know, when you lose a family member, you lose a mom or a dad, you, at that point, you know, that day, you know, and for me, you know, that's coming up pretty soon. Me and him share a lot of similarities in the way his sister and my mom had rare form of cancer and both had the same rare form of cancer. And that's what they died from.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
And, you know, I mean, she died in 2017. My mom died in 2018, you know, and you sit back and you look at it and you go, man, you know, cancer, you know, we talked about kids earlier,
Mhm.
and then you look at it and you go, man, you know, why can't we find a cure for that? You know, I mean,
Well, they
let's-
got a fucking cure. They just don't want to give it to
well,
us.
you know, apply, you know, stuff like that, you know, and make sure, you know, it's about the mighty dollar to most people.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they found a cure, then they wouldn't be able to milk you.
Yeah.
Milk you for
Yeah.
cash. It
Yeah.
seems like that's what everything's about now. It's just money.
Yeah.
And I think it's true, and it's nuts. But luckily, I think with the internet and stuff like that, and more people collaborating and stuff, that they actually are finding, you know, better medicine that actually works instead of, you know, just a big company saying, well, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah, you know, when you talk
This
about
works. We're just gonna give you poison instead.
right. You talk about the internet, and you think about 20 years ago where we were
Right.
to where we are now in modern technology, and they always talk about Big Brother in the sky. Well, I'll just tell you right now, your little Ring cameras and your little,
Oh yeah, they're all
Alexas
listening.
and all that, they're all monitoring. Mhm.
That's monitoring everything you do.
Fuck you, government.
There you go. Mhm.
Right? Yeah. I'm more of a libertarian type of person too. So
I'm a conservative.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm first and foremost, and I mean, let's get back to the basics of what this country is founded on, and let's go with that. I'm sorry if you get your feelings hurt that, you're woke, ideas you're trying to push on me. I ain't interested, don't care to be interested. And, let's go on,
yeah.
You do you, I do me. Don't mess with me, and don't expect my taxpayer dollars to pay for your ignorance.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to tell you yesterday. I was a conservative. Right now I'm a Republican conservative. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you said that too. That
yeah,
if you think the Democrat is the better person, that you're going to vote for Democrat.
yeah,
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
I make decisions based on my opinions and what I think. Hopefully that they're going to.
Who's the most qualified?
Yeah, then they're really going to actually do what they say, which
Yeah.
rarely happens. Whatever, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more libertarian conservative. I just think the size of the government.
Oh, I believe
it needs to be downscaled,
well,
man.
sure, without
I
a doubt,
agree with
man. The
that.
term limits too solves the problem.
100% when you turn limits.
It's like a flat tax.
Yeah.
Hey, man, why should somebody who doesn't pay in, but $2,000 in a year get $7,000 back?
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute now.
That's stupid. Yeah.
There's a difference between a libertarian conservative than a liberal.
Yeah.
Far left.
Far left liberal.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to allow your daughter going to or a man going to your daughter's restroom
No.
and
Not a chance.
cutting off their weenies and shit, making them girls at the age that they want to do it and shit like that. Those are the kind of liberals I can't stand. Those are the kind of liberals the ones that try to push the gay pride and all that other stuff on
Their views, yeah.
Don't push it on me. I don't care what you do.
Yeah, the way that I kind of think of it is fine. And the hypocrisy behind, some people, it's not everybody, but some people, and do you, but
Yeah.
let me be me too.
Yep.
If that hypocrisy thing is like, well, I'm me and I get to be myself. That's cool, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
You can be yourself, but I can be allowed to be myself as well.
Without you pushing
Correct.
your views on me.
My actions have consequences. The way I act and the way that I do things have consequences, and so do you. And that's how the world works. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to bend over backwards and just fully accept you for who you are. And that's okay. You don't have to like me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Chances are I probably still like you because I usually like everybody unless you give me a reason not to.
Right. And it's like us riding bikes. People go, well, why do you choose to ride a bike? Why do you choose to get in your car?
Yeah. Same thing.
You know?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And, not to wrangle in politics and all that stuff into the conversation or whatnot.
There's always
It's
going to
just-
be politics ringed up in any
Just-
conversation you have.
Just use your brain a little bit, man, with everything. Do some research on some stuff and just realize that most of our politicians are lying to us and most of the media is lying to us. And it's up to us to do the research and look up the things that matter.
Yeah.
And find out the truth. I'm a truth seeker kind of person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And something that's always stuck with me, my great grandmother told me years ago was your days are numbered.
Mhm.
Whether you want to believe it or not or
Yeah.
accept it. So while you're here, make the best use of them.
we're just bags of meat, like walking. We're so fragile. We
Yeah.
are so fragile.
You said that. I was like, yeah, that's what my wife says.
I mean, you don't ever know when, that ticket's gonna be punched. I mean,
Yeah. There's no rain checks.
no, and you can't be living in fear with it because if you do that, then you're never gonna enjoy anything.
No.
I mean, you just have to let it go.
Yeah.
Just release it, and it all has to do with ego.
Yeah.
Let
Pride.
let that ego go, man.
Yeah,
the
pride
more
too.
that you can let the ego go, the more happier you're gonna be in life. I feel.
That's what a lot of people don't understand about riding bikes, man. There's a lot of freedom and happiness in it.
Yeah.
And if that's the way I got to go, at least I was happy doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a calm, it's a, you get up and you throw your leg over the bike, you're rolling down the road and you're like, hey man, this, that, and, you're looking around and like you said, you're right. You see more
Yeah.
than, and when you see people that are like, texting and driving, you're just like shaking, like, man, come on. that wasn't even around 20 years ago. So why are you doing it now? Because it's convenient. It's something you want to do, not knowing what your actions can cause.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't mean to, but a little late when,
Yeah,
I mean, I was bad at texting and driving when it first came out and stuff. I mean, now there's a button you can hold it and I can talk text.
Yeah.
You know, and send them my whole voice and through a text, you know, instead of sit there and talk to them. And that's when I do that, to you know, people, they know I'm driving.
Yeah.
So they'll do the same thing back so I can listen to them instead of trying to read something.
Trying to read it. Yeah. That
You
makes
know,
sense.
So that's how it's been now lately.
Yeah. I'm
Because
guilty of. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I text drive every now and then. Try not to. It's only when something like really, usually it's my wife, the only person that I really text and drive. And it's usually stoplight.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be like, I can wait.
Yeah.
I'll read it then. So, because I just don't know how I would feel about myself if I hurt somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't grow up with it as a kid. I mean, I grew up in the country, so you couldn't text. It didn't matter. I had a cell phone, but it was worthless until you got into Cleburne, you know?
You had a cell phone?
I did, actually.
He grew up in Covington, bro.
Yeah, I grew up in
Okay.
Covington. Yeah.
Okay, but did you grow up with a cell phone?
Well, I was 17 when I got it.
Well, I don't know how old he is. I'm 52 years old.
Yeah, I'll be 42 in August.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm 10 years older too. So when he was like 15, I had a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one at 17.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And it was like my dad had a
Prepaid phone.
yeah, it was one of the Nokias.
Yeah, that's what I
You
had.
could play Snake on it. You know, I had a booster thing in my truck that was like this little antenna.
boy.
Yeah.
And it might get you one bar out there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you
Right.
still couldn't talk on it. And I remember the first time I was in college when I got a text message and I was like, what the hell is this? Somebody sent Merry Christmas. And I think I had to pay $3 for that text message just because I didn't have a
Yeah.
plan. Somebody sent me one and I had to pay for it.
Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, when I got out of prison, my brother was like, hey, check this out. And I was like, what? And he's like, you can text. I was like, what the fuck's text mean? He's like, you could text message, you know, send him a message through text message. What? So it was
Why
like,
don't you just call them?
right?
Yeah, exactly.
And back then we're like razor flip phones and shit like that, you know? And I'm like, well, show me what you're talking about, dude. And he goes, here, I'm gonna send you a message. And then my phone bing. I was like, what the fuck? And I had Metro PCS, you know? And so everything was like free minutes and all that shit, you know? And I was like, holy shit, dude. And back then you had to hit like 3 times to get the letter you need. Nowadays it's just crazy, dude.
I can text in my pocket.
Right.
And those are like mini computers.
Oh, yeah,
you
for
know?
sure, man.
I mean,
I was late to the game getting an iPhone too. Like, so I didn't get an iPhone until the iPhone 3 came out. And everybody I knew already had a smartphone. They either had an Android or an iPhone or at least a BlackBerry.
I was going to say the Crackberries, I
Yeah.
call them, but the Blackberry.
And I had a Sliver, and then I had a Razor flip phone. And that was what I had. And I had that forever. I mean, until that Razor like completely shit the bed. And that's when I was like,
That's
you
one of the
know,
best phones they made.
yeah, I was like, I'm going to go get a new
Motorola,
phone.
Actually, the Motorola brick phone, the analog, that was the best. Now, that thing was like a brick, man, and you couldn't put it in your back
So was
pocket.
those Nokias, man.
Well, that the Motorola one, though, that
Yeah.
had that antenna, man, that thing worked everywhere.
Nextel, those were bricks too. The little
Oh,
walkie-talkie
yeah.
one. You
Yeah.
either call them or
Mhm.
like hit them with a beep, and they'll call you like
Yeah.
on a walkie-talkie.
Like
"Hey,
a
what's up?"
walkie-talkie. Yeah, I remember those.
Oh man, one time I was working for that company out of Georgia I was telling you about,
Mhm.
and that's what we had was Nextel. And I was driving down the road and I said, I'm gonna fuck with Adam, you know what I mean? And so I clicked on it, teet teet. Hey baby, you miss Big Daddy? And I didn't know he was in a fucking corporate meeting, dude. And he fucking calls me. He calls me on the phone and says, hey bro, I'm in a meeting. I was like, no shit. And I was like, yeah. So he hung up, and up driving 2 minutes later, I was like, "Teet. Do you miss me yet? He called me at night. He's like, dude, I want to fucking fire your ass, dude, but you better be glad I love you, man.
That's so
But
funny.
I used to fuck with them dudes with them fucking things, dude. I love those Nextels, man.
I remember getting my first picture message, and I was in college or just out of college, and a buddy of mine sent me a picture of his turd.
Oh,
It's like, It was like, you have an image. And I was like, an image?
You're like, oh,
Because my phone didn't even have a camera.
Right.
And he had just gotten a brand new camera phone.
Oh shit.
Opened it up. I was like, of course, that's what you sent me.
wow.
As long as they don't send me no dick pictures and shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
You wanna smoke some?
Yeah. We can pause real quick. We'll come back. I got to pee anyways. All right. We're back.
All right.
All right. Took a little break. So let's talk about the future of y'all's club.
Futures, we look to expand and grow, I mean, it takes a special breed, to lead, and for us, we're selective. It's not for everybody. Just like any other club, it's not for everybody or anybody. It's select. And if you're one of the ones that gets to wear the patch with us, at that point, you're a brother. And like, we've mentioned before, it's family and growth, ideally, we would love to be in all 50 states, and go from there. I mean, right now we're in a few states and we continue to look to grow, and we will, doing, things that we do and the way we do it, it works out well.
Yeah.
We try to keep, any kind of a riffraff or trash. If we find out, it's handled immediately and done. No questions asked, you're out, period. And you go forward and you learn from that and you do your due diligence as you move forward. And, we've had a few that have had to have that happen, and we move forward and we roll on, and it is what it is, but growth of the club, it's, for us, as we mentioned before, we have, charters around. We have different states that have, charters, and we've, got nomads, and we got, nomads around. So, looking at that, I mean, where do we see ourselves in another 10 years? Hey, man, we'll still be here.
Yeah. That's great, man. That's super awesome. Man, I love that for you guys. And I love the message and everything that you're trying to, put out there. Hey, we don't take no shit, but you know, we're trying to spread good in the world.
Yeah.
And I think we all need a little more of that, to be honest.
I mean, we're a bunch of working. I mean, we work,
Yeah.
And people are like, we got electricians, plumbers, AC guys. We got, everybody, pretty much that you could think of is in the club. And then if somebody needs something, hey, brother, what do you think about this? Or, we got master, plumbers, master woodworkers, carpenters. And I mean, you come together, man. You help each other. You also help the community. We've been asked before. We were actually, we used to do a garage sale every year and talking about charity and where we look and see. And one year we were asked, we were collecting for our garage sale. Hey, this lady's getting out with her kids in an abusive relationship. What do we have for them? And I'm like, brother, we're tapped out with money for the year. But what we do have is, furnishings in the clubhouse that we can donate to them and have them. Man, we set them up. We had, everything, a TV, we had, furniture for them. We had a couch, we had a bed for the kid, and you look at that and you go, man, just if there was a little more of that in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not all about that. Like we said, it's the brotherhood in riding, but getting that stereotypical, hey, the biker, is the big bad guy. If you actually talk to a lot of people, they'll tell you, if there's ever an issue, and then I'd like to get that out there, you might want to talk to your, kids and say, if you ever have a problem and you see a biker, go to them.
Yeah.
Because there's a code in the biker community that, you live by.
Yeah. I think we need to do more protecting our kids too. I mean, there's so much out there. Human trafficking is a big deal. And I don't know if y'all knew this, but did you know that human trafficking used to not even be a felony?
Really?
Yeah. So I had a lady on, her name was Mary Wells.
Very, very, very good person right there.
Yeah, love her. She's got a 501(c)(3). It's breaking the chains of human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter was trafficked for a tank of gas, $20.
Yeah.
And
found her on Harry Hines.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And the guy that had done it before had 2 other prior charges and got 6 months probation. Yeah. So she got pushed through where it's now a felony here in Texas. And now she's pushing for, if it's human trafficking, I think it's like 16 and under, and mental illness and stuff like that it's death penalty automatically. And I think that we need to stand up for that, because we need to put it into this.
Oh yeah.
Because that's our future,
Yeah.
I mean, we've already done our fucking up, and had to come around and make it right and do this and do that. So that's our future, and we need to protect that.
Yeah.
Mary Wells, she ran for Congress too.
She did, yeah.
Listen, I was hoping she won. I mean, she's such a great person.
Yeah.
And she's lived that experience, her and her husband Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And that the way people would talk about her and all this other stuff, it's just the whole evilness in between the politics is just ugly, dude.
Yeah.
Instead of having a normal conversation, they just want to attack each other.
Yeah. She told me some stories that was just crazy.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I hate that politics get that way, where it's all about, well, we just got to drag this person down, and we got to do this and we got to do that. And to me, it's like, come on, have some integrity, people. I mean, if you're doing that, if you've got to seriously make up stuff, or you may take something that's small and blow it up into something way bigger so you can win, man, what is that doing for you? What is that really doing? Are you really trying to help anybody at that point, or are you just trying to help yourself at that point?
Right.
And I think we all need to take just a deeper look into what's going on and stuff like that. And
everybody needs to take a step back.
Yeah. And what we're told to believe in, and this and that, because at the end of the day, we all need each other. We do. And, just like the club, you've got people that are there that you got this person to take care of this person to take care of that, and you just all help each other out. That's the way it's supposed to be, And I'm really big with that, for one, having that integrity. Just, if you don't have that, to me, it's just very disappointing.
Yeah.
I don't want to spread hate or anything like that. So to me, it's just disappointing. Just do better.
Well, if you don't have the integrity, what do you stand for?
Correct. You gotta stick to your principles, and I get that, but that doesn't mean you gotta hate somebody or drag them down or push them down or anything. Listen to them. Listen to what they have to say. See what you can learn from that person. And that's what I try to do with every single conversation I have with every person that I meet.
Mm-hmm. I have to, man. When people are running for office, dude, I mean, I'm a president of a club, you know what I mean? So I've got to hold myself to a higher standard, because I hold a officer position like that, and it's my beliefs. I don't let it affect how I'm gonna make a decision with another brother. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or anybody else. But that, I don't even know how to say his name, Tomatilo or Terrico.
Oh, you talking about Terra?
I already talking about Talico.
Talico or some shit, dude.
Talifero.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's always bashing on him and doing, saying this and this and that. So I looked him up, before I even had anything to say. And yeah, he's got some shitty ideas, man. I mean, he's about bad as Beto.
Yeah.
But worse. I mean, he's all about, gender, males going in females' bathrooms. He's good with that. He's good with.
And I'm not okay with that, man.
And he said it in a lot of speeches. So I've listened to those speeches and heard it come out of his mouth on a lot of his beliefs and all this other stuff. I'm like, nah, that dude does not to be. He doesn't need to be in Texas. That's. And I'm not a Ken Paxton fan either.
Yeah, me neither.
I've met him. He lives in the same neighborhood as somebody I know. But a lot of his stuff that he has done, he's done more good than he done shitty.
Yeah.
Ken Paxton. I mean, same with Greg Abbott. I've met Greg Abbott, and a lot of people, and there's a lot of shit that I don't agree with Greg Abbott. Like I told you.
Well, there's never going to be a politician that makes everybody happy, period. Period. It's not going to happen.
But
you're going to piss somebody off.
Texas is number 4 in the world on
The economy.
The economy.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 in the world. Number 1 in the United States. You know, but our education's number 40 something.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we got to work on, is the education.
And then again, that comes, you know, locally, you know,
Mm-hmm.
getting on the school boards and making things make sense, you know. Yeah. Kind of the reason why I kind of started this thing is because when the school bond things were happening, you're hearing like this side talk about this and this side talk about that. And I was like, man, I wish I could just sit down and talk to these people together and hash it out so people can make an informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
I mean, yeah, it's bad that you start, you know, at the local level. I mean, I've been in the middle of school board disagreements, and I've been on the news with it and everything, and it's just very frustrating to see how some school boards act when all they're worried about is getting reelected to it.
Yeah.
You know, getting, you know, and it's like, really, I know who you are. You don't, like this, and why? And so they turned their back on them. I turned my back on you.
They don't even carry books at school no more.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all computers and stuff like that. And, you know, talking to teachers that I know and stuff like that, we need more teachers. Okay.
Better pay for them too.
We need better pay for them, and we need more teachers. Technology's fine. And yeah, technology helps with things. But when you got one teacher taking care of 40 kids, that's a lot of kids, man.
It is a lot of kids, and they don't even really teach anymore, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
They're
Well, they're not allowed to.
Well, they're getting prepared for testing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that STAR testing or whatever.
You know, and then they get out. You know, I'm teaching my kids how to write checks. I'm teaching my kids how to, survive in the world, because it's not. The test is just senseless and stupid. It's just to get a way to get money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, a whole other thing is too, I think that's a lot of building in that whole sit down and shut up for 8 hours. Do what you're told.
Well, I mean, and I don't mean to interrupt, but going into the same thing, kids nowadays can't count. That's why you're going to the cashless. You go into, a place, I could go right at name, I went into a place last week here in Cleveland, and there was like, sorry, sir, we don't take cash. You don't take cash. I mean, and their philosophy is that if they took the cash, the kids nowadays, number one, don't know how to give the change. Number two, the owner's never going to see the cash because the kids aren't trustworthy. And so that's why they're going cashless, and the banks, and they charge a percentage. Well, you're losing all the way around. So I can see why you don't want to have cash anymore.
Yeah.
And basic math.
Yeah.
When we went to the hospital to see the Club Brothers old lady that was up there, and we went downstairs to the little store they have there, and the dude didn't know how to do tax. He goes, I don't even know how to do tax. I go, it's 8,
8 1/4.
8 1/4, 0.825. I was like, well, I don't know how to do it, And another example, when my kid didn't even know that. He's 14 years old, and he was like, no, it was my 12-year-old about to be 13. He was wanting to get a monster, we let him get a monster every now and then, and he wants to spend his own money on it. I won't pay for it. But if he wants to spend his own money on it, that's him.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, how much is it going to cost with tax, Dad? I go, you don't know how much tax is? He goes, no. I go, 8 cents to the dollar. He goes, so if I spend $1, I have to spend $1.08? Yes. All right. He says, well, it's $2.80. How much you think it is? I go, it'll be a few cents over $3.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I got enough. They don't teach this shit.
I know. It's wild.
I knew about tax when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, probably before that, 4th grade.
Hey,
Cursive, it
was wild that my son didn't even know what cursive was till he was in high school.
Wow.
And that's when they started teaching it again, because then they realized, like, all these kids were like, I can't read this. I mean, I learned that in like 2nd grade.
I don't print. I cursive when I write.
I do this hybrid.
I seen some of that, dude. My daughter does that, and I was like, what is that? She goes, that's an S. I go, it looks like an L.
You left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed. Yeah. But I do a hybrid print, cursive, top deal.
And he can't read my chicken scratch, so.
I can barely read mine sometimes. When I'm taking notes, I'll look at it and be like, what was I trying to say there?
Did I have a few drinks?
Well, it's funny because,
That's when I'm talking
stuff,
cursive.
All right.
taking notes and stuff, he'll look over and go, "What is this?"
You know, it's funny too because I remember like I got like an award in second grade for like penmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That went
After
out to-
that, I was like, yeah, screw that.
right?
Yeah. Back when we went to school, man, we got taught. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, even in Covington, man, like they taught us how to like do a budget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How
Like,
to write a check.
Yeah.
how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook, and I get that. You don't do
Monthly
that
budget.
anymore, really, and so I understand, but still, like the point of like what a budget is, what saving money is, what compound interest is, what
Mhm.
this is, and what debt is, and how it works, because you know, my son's in College Station right now, getting his civil engineering degree, about to start a senior year. Smart kid, has no idea how debt and compound interest works and any of that stuff. It's not taught, period.
Yeah, like a mortgage, 30-year mortgage. you
Yeah.
know. And if you pay an extra payment a year, you knock that down between, what,
15, 18 years.
Yeah.
7 to 9 years on average
Yeah.
by just doing that. And they're like, "What? I don't understand." You're like, it's common sense.
Yeah. And I mean, these kids too, they're getting these massive student loans
Mhm.
and they don't understand what the interest is and what it's charging. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I can pay $500 a month, towards my student loan. Well, that's cool. Pay that $500 and then look and see how much it actually reduces.
It doesn't.
It's going to be very, very little because you're just paying barely the interest.
Mhm.
And they're willing to continue to take that money, but they don't even understand until is it even a thought through most, kids these days or younger people or anything. And I think they want you in debt. They want you to overspend. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. They never want you to get ahead.
Nope.
And I can't even understand like property taxes. Like how is it that, just for numbers sake here, so if I buy my house for $100,000, right, and I got to pay property taxes on that, okay, now you're saying my house is worth $300,000.
No, we have this argument all the time.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are you taxing me on money I never made?
Or spent.
Yeah, or spent.
Right.
Never made or spent. Why am I being taxed on that? I mean, they're literally just taxing people out of their damn homes.
It's extortion.
And
Yes.
that is the one thing that California, as much as I do not like that woke state, they have, if you paid $250,000 for your house, that is all you'll ever be taxed on.
But they have a high state tax too.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
15%.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. But at least the property tax, they've got that in line because you're never, you only pay $250 for it.
Well, that's what Greg Abbott's trying to do. He's trying to abolish
Yeah.
Yeah.
land tax.
And I think you should.
Yeah.
If you buy something, pay taxes on it. But here you want to hear my idea?
Yeah.
So-
give it to us.
Get rid of all income taxes.
Yeah, flat tax.
Let's get rid of all property taxes, everything else. You only get taxed on what you buy.
And
So you got a state sales tax,
Mhm.
and then you got a federal sales tax. So
Mhm.
anything that you buy, it's going to be taxed by a certain percent. So then, and I had people ask me, well, what about companies? Okay, cool. Well, companies aren't going to be taxed on their profits anymore.
Mhm.
They're only going to be taxed on what they buy.
Mhm.
So think about this: as a company, you're only being taxed on your your profits, not what you actually make.
Mhm.
It's just what you basically net. And at the end of the year, they're like, oh man, if we don't spend this amount of money, we're going to have to pay it in taxes anyway. So we should just go buy a yacht
Mhm.
or buy another residence or buy this or buy that. So they don't have to pay taxes.
Right.
How is that, fair to us? That means we should be able to get our checks, pay all of our bills, and
Mhm.
then pay taxes on what's left over.
Right.
If that would be fair.
Right.
But if you just took away all that bullshit taxing and you just said anything that you buy, it's a consumer tax.
Mhm.
The more you consume, the more
You pay.
taxes you pay.
mm-hmm.
I think that's the only fair way that we could really still have, police, fire, the
Mhm.
things that we need to take care of and this and that without cheating anybody else.
Well, I think, but a lot of people complain, well, I always have to get my car registered. That goes towards the roads,
Mhm.
supposedly.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
the school.
Actually, it's only gas tax.
Right.
That's the only thing that really goes to roads.
Right. Well, I thought that they the like the tag you get.
That's a county thing.
Oh,
What's crazy too, though, is that the federal gas tax is only about 18 cents.
Maybe
Something
I
like
don't know.
that,
It
but
hasn't
I mean,
gone up in forever.
It really hasn't. But what about the state level? What is
state level keeps climbing.
I know. So I mean, let's see here. We're getting it on one end and getting it on the other. Let's just cross the board. Let's just do. Hey, okay, you're going to buy gas today. This is the fee you're going to pay.
Yeah.
For that.
But what's going to pay for the schools?
The revenue that
Still the taxes. The taxes
See,
that you're buying stuff with.
And that's what Greg Abbott is trying to do, abolish land tax and school. He doesn't want us paying school taxes no more.
No.
Because you got elders and then you got people that don't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
They still got to pay school tax and they have no kids. That's not fair on them.
Yeah.
They're paying for somebody else's kid.
Yeah. Prime example, me and my old lady were going to buy a house up in the Keller ISD. Even if the house was paid for, it was starting out at $14,000 a year in taxes.
That's wild, man. So you're going to pay over $1,000 a month just for your damn taxes.
For taxes.
So you can keep your whatever you bought.
And that was then. What about in 20 years?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like, no, I don't see where, I should have to pay for somebody else's kids to be in, hey, your kids are going to school and they're in public school. Great, cool. You need to pay a little tax for it, I guess, or, but not somebody who hasn't, don't have the kids already have a house. I mean, no, I don't agree with that anymore. I mean, I get it. Community needs schools and education, but you doing that and setting it like that does, put validity into the fact that you are taxed on what you purchase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, so you got a person that likes a $50 pair of jeans. They're going to pay taxes on that. Then you got the people that want $500 pair of jeans. Cool. You're going to pay taxes on that too. And the taxes are going to be more because it's more money.
Mm-hmm.
You're consuming more. You're getting more stuff. You want to go buy a Corolla, you're going to pay taxes on it. But if you're going to go buy a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, obviously you're going to pay quite a bit more taxes because it costs quite a bit more money.
Not just that, insurance is going to be higher.
Mm-hmm.
Your tags are going to be higher.
Mm-hmm.
I heard on electric cars, man, you pay $250 to get registration every year.
Yeah, because they don't have that gas tax.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the insurance is a lot more.
Really? I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
I drive an old Jeep, so.
Yeah, I'm sticking with gas. It's
Yeah.
crazy how we went into this stuff. We just started talking.
Rabbit holes really fast because it's all connected. We're all attached to it. I mean, and then again, that's why I'm saying, that's to me, that's the only way to really make it fair.
Yeah.
Because the more stuff that you're buying and the more stuff, material things and this and that, because they could still make groceries where they're tax free. You just pay for your damn groceries and go about your business. It's everything else. You want a boat, you want an RV, you want a yacht, you want 15 houses.
The more you want,
the more you're going to pay.
Necessities shouldn't be taxed.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like, food, water.
Yeah.
But I mean, we pay for water anyway.
And that's what blows my mind. People buying water, dude, when water is basically free.
Yeah, but it's trash. It's full of crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get your water tested and then tell me you want to drink it.
I got a well at home.
So you're probably
I
pretty
got a
good.
filter system.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I got another filter system under the sink. So
me and my wife been talking about getting a filter system in too, just because water is getting worse and worse and worse. And of course, that happens. And you got a town that more and more people move in. They got to, what do they got to do? They got to clear out more water. What happens there? Quality goes down. You know,
and
you get
Texas
the more
doesn't
quantity.
have that much water.
No, we're luckier than some states. California to
Nevada.
mention there. You know, I mean, they're really dry. That it didn't rain. You know,
We saw that in Colorado and New Mexico this year. I mean, and look what happened to the fires up there in Colorado. All that's because of lack of rain. And I mean, the mountain snows melted early this year.
We didn't go to Colorado this year.
Well, we did last year? Oh no, we went to New Mexico, but we planned on it, but that's right. We planned on going, but it was snowing in May.
yeah.
Not my cup of tea.
No.
Right. That's one cool thing about Texas is, you get to see all 4 seasons here.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get to see all 4 seasons in 1 week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Colorado too, man. It's crazy. We went up there in July and It was about 7 of us that rode up there, and
Mhm.
it was my first time going on into Colorado, and that's the first time I rode the $1 Million Highway. And we rode up through there. We did the whole state of Colorado. And we did the $1 Million Highway. Then we rode
Pikes
up
Peak.
at Pikes Peak. We went up to the Rocky
there.
Mountains. The Rocky Mountains, that ride up just to the top, it rained, sleet, snow, and it rained again. And on the way down, it did backwards. It rained, snow, sleet, and it went backwards. But it was crazy because that was in July.
Oh, yeah, that is wild.
That was wild, dude. But the higher you got, it's still cold. They still had snow on the top, And then we did Pikes Peak too. It wasn't snowing or anything there, but I couldn't breathe, dude.
Oh, man, it was wild. So got to Pikes Peak. Not only was I got out and I was like, oh, it's cold up here. I mean,
Yeah.
it was June. So hot down there. You get up there, it's cold. And I damn near fell over as soon as I got out of the car.
Can't breathe.
I was, the air is so much thinner. And I got out, and I mean, it took me about 20 minutes to where I could okay, I can actually walk around and look now because I was real lightheaded.
Yeah, I was too, man. I sat down and I tried to eat and I couldn't eat in that little shopping center they
Yeah.
had there. I couldn't eat, dude, and I had to get back on the bike and ride down, dude. And everybody else is like, it was me and Pipes was prospecting, and me and him were feeling the same way. Like we were leaning on each other. Like, everybody else was like, "No, let's just haul ass all down, dude. We're gonna haul ass down." I was like, "Y'all haul ass all you want, but my dizzy ass ain't hauling ass on a bike." We got halfway down and started feeling better,
Yeah.
and then when we got down, and everybody stopped, and took a little safety meeting break, and we all sat there and checked our bikes, our brakes, and everything like that, dude. And I sat there for a minute before I wanted to get back on the bike because, man, I felt horrible. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like Sandia Peak with the air up there,
Yeah.
the wind.
Mhm.
Man, that wind, this is feeling great. Then you get up on the top of that,
It's
man.
cold.
Cold wind just beating on you, and you're like, man, this is only like 11,000 feet.
Yeah.
Not quite. And you're like, man,
Imagine Everest.
No, man, fuck that.
no. My
It
bike
stays snow up there, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah,
all
like
frozen.
24/7.
And of course, now they said that it's like, I mean, if you make a hike up Everest, there's like hundreds and hundreds of bodies that are just there. There are people that have perished when they were, up there because a storm comes through. I mean,
Yeah.
You're done.
dude, you're done. And
I'm glad I'm not that stupid to do that.
I mean, I think it would be really cool to do. You really have to train and really know your stuff. But I've talked to a couple people that have done it.
Yeah.
And they got to use oxygen. They got to do this, but they're saying it gets so bad when you get up there that your lips are cracking, your face is cracking because of the wind and because of how dry everything is and how cold it is, and it's wild. But then it's kind of weird when they come back down after they get up there, and it's like blood doping. So your red blood cells count goes way up, and you feel like superhuman when you come down. You're like, you can run through walls for 3 or 4 days basically, because your blood level is so much different because of the oxygen difference.
Well, them telling me that story just made me not want to do it anymore.
No. I mean,
I don't want to do that.
no. And Harleys don't mix with high elevations at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They just don't.
Unless we're tuned for it, I guess.
Yeah, but you get up there around that 14,000 feet range, and there's no, even the fuel injected,
Yeah.
because they're set to top out about 10,000 elevation. And then from there, depending on how you've got your bike set up, you're going to be running that.
Can hear that wind picking up outside.
Yeah.
The howling
That
around
rain.
that corner. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to burn off because that rain's coming in.
10-4. Anything else you guys want to plug before we,
Steak night coming up this weekend.
Yep.
Where's it at?
In Haltom City. We
Haltom
got
City.
tickets. We got some little tickets for sale, $25.
all right.
So
You got a website or anything that they can pick this
no,
up
y'all
at?
can
Or?
look us up on Facebook.
Ten-
Good old Boyz MC.
Mhm.
Look for the three brothers riding together, and you'll find us.
There's the picture right there, and 3 brothers riding together.
Well, gentlemen, thank you guys for coming on and chat with me today, man. I got to learn a lot and I got to laugh a lot. It made me cry a couple times. I had to wipe my eyes because I was laughing so dang hard. It was a good time, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man, anytime you want to come out, I'll buy you a plate.
Sounds
Appreciate
like,
it.
Sounds
All
like
right,
a plan, brother. All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace.